happy.
Hello guys and welcome to today's STPL. We are in week 11, the final week of the group stage. There is only 4 series left between now and the playoffs, and once we know the results on Sunday we can then grab all the lineups and everything for the playoffs and everything like that. So it's good to finally be at this stage. It's been a really good season. I have really enjoyed it, but after like 11 weeks of constantly casting, especially where it's been so weird for me, it's definitely starting to grate a little bit. I definitely need a little bit of a break, but that's what the break between season 3 and 4 is for, so we're all good. But this is the format. We've got a best of 5 all the way through to the finals, which is best of 7. Set 1 to 4, the lineups are selected in advance, and all the games are played at the same time. And set 5 is the ace match, which means every player can compete again if they do so choose to. The map pool is on the screen, the prize pool distribution is on the screen as well. That's actually starting to come into effect. Lampshade says co-cast would help lighten the load and could be a good addition. The thing is, there's not really anyone I want to cast with, and not only that, it's not really the casting. Like, I enjoy the casting part, it's just the time. This is the last round of group play, so we've got today, and the next cast is on Sunday at 3 PM. It's a little bit of a weird time for STPL, but yeah, and apparently my voice is low. That's really weird. I don't know why. How about now? I've turned it up a little bit. Wait, what? The music is loud, but that's not changed. That is really weird. How about now? Is this any better? I can also move closer. Let me move closer to my my microphone. Now both are silent. Huh? This is weird. Why am I getting so many technological issues recently? Let's try and go to a different screen and we'll see if that changes anything. Okay, so team rankings. This is the rankings as we go into the final week. Soul Gaming at the top. They've guaranteed themselves a place in the finals, but they are going to be fighting against ReV. No, it's not ReV they're fighting against Ash today. So this match isn't really too important, but are Ash going to be able to break Soul Gaming's unbeaten streak? Not too sure. The important matchups though. So the matchups we've got this week are Soul versus Ash, VT versus ReV. Now VT versus ReV is going to be incredibly important. If ReV lose this series, they're likely going to find it a little bit up. Well, I don't know. It depends. Depending on if they lose the series and how many games they lose. If Red can win their series against IRK, it means Red will knock Clan Revolution out of the playoffs. And outside of that, we've got DM versus Net Wars as well. So Net Wars are kind of playing against Valhalla here for the seed. Now, if both of them do win their series, because of the extra loss from the penalty, Valhalla team will get the 3rd place seed. And Net Wars will get the semi-final seed. But obviously we've got to get there first, because Sorry, I just need to, it's a weird thing. But my foot started itching like crazy, so I'm gonna free my feet. Get too excited. There's probably some like feet people. Yeah, I don't mind feet people, but you won't like my feet, so it's all good. But yeah, so there's some really good, really good matchups coming up this week. Overall we've got BT versus ReV, Soul versus Ash, Red versus IRK, and DM versus Net Wars. There's only one walkover, and that was in Red versus IRK, which we're going to cast on Sunday. And once again, Sunday is going to be at 3 PM, because I want to finish before the evening, because the evening is when I kind of hang out with everyone. So also I'm off work next week, so I'm going to have a nice break, because we won't have any games to cast during the week. It's my birthday on Monday as well, so that should be fun, and I'll get a nice week off, so it's all good. Nice week off from work as well. And I do wonder if Sale will ever come back. I don't think he will. Like, he disappeared in 2013 or something, and then came back in 2015, or 2016 I think it might have been, because he started casting when I was already casting. And this time, I mean, it's been nearly two and a bit years, so I don't know if he's ever coming back, but it would be nice if he did. But he's an old man now, so maybe that's why he's disappeared. He doesn't want to do it. But let's have a look at the teams we're going to have for now. We've got Valhalla team starting us off here. They're in 3rd place at the moment in the rankings. If they can win their match and Net Wars lose theirs, they will take the semi-final seed. They are going to be looking to get that. They've got a relatively strong lineup today. Obviously, with the departure of Clan Wiko from Valhalla team, we've got a lot of their Mexican players coming out. So we've got Galaxy and SFCA coming out again. We've got Bishop and Pitbull as well. Pitbull, a really good player, but actually losing his first game in the STPL, so that's kind of cool. And let's have a look at their opponents. Their opponents are going to be Clan Revolution. Now, Clan Revolution haven't got their strongest roster here. We don't have Medinho, and we don't have... Oh, damn. Talking about bleeding. Hold on. I'm going to need to go... I'll be back in a second, guys. 1 second. Hold on. I am bleeding like crazy where I was scratching my leg. I just need to go and clean this up. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. See you guys in a sec. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I am back. That was certainly something. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was horrible. Like, I just looked at my hand and I'm like, whoa, what? I didn't even, I wasn't scratching my leg that much either. I think I must have had like a scratch there from before. Yeah, I probably did something that I shouldn't have done. But either way, it's going to be a cool series here. Looking forward to it. I've actually got the bring back of Faust. We've not seen Faust for a long time, and he's actually going to be playing on Core Breach as Terran, so that's kind of cool. But let's have a look at the lineups we're going to have here. Valhalla versus Clan Revolution, Bishop versus Scarfs, Galaxy versus Hirmu, SFCA versus CRBT, and Pitbull versus Faust. Now, I think this is going to be the first time we're seeing Hirmu on a map which isn't Core Breach. It's been 11 weeks, and I think he's been on Core Breach nearly every single time, so we'll check that when we get there. But let's have a look at the players quickly. and then we can go into the first game. We've got Bishop for VT. He's done pretty well. Well, actually, he's not done very well at all in the STPL, if I'm being completely honest. But when you look at the players he's played against, he's been up against some pretty strong opponents. Like, come on. That's kind of something, you know? You've got Shine and Best in 2 of his last 2 games, and Spire and J-Hyuk as well. And his game against Radley was like a 30-minute TVT. Oh, and the loss versus Best was a walkover. Okay. I completely... Best gonna walkover for that? Ah. I can't remember. It was a while ago now. I think they left on like week 3, so... Regardless, let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Scarf. Scarf has only played 2 games so far. But the games he's played, he's gone 50-50. It's only been against Zerglo, so this is going to be a brand new application here of Scarf skill. We're going to get to see his PVT, sorry. Let's have a look. The map we're going into is La Mancha. We don't need to go into that too much. Let's go into game number 1. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the red Protoss player fighting for ReV. It's Scarfs. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the blue, fighting for Valhalla team. It's Bishop. Yeah, White versus Valhalla team didn't happen this time because, because White dropped out. Okay, I do wonder what we're going to see in this series, because Valhalla team, at least historically, you would say their players are a lot stronger than ReV. And when ReV are kind of missing their heavy hitters like Medinio, I mean, they've got CRVT, who's been their other like mainstay for this season. It's a little bit rough though, and I don't think we've got Sugo today either. I think Scarf's actually subbed in for Sugo. I know he subbed in for someone, if I remember correctly. But I wonder if we're going to see ReV try and do something crazy. Like Bishop and Pipple, the only 2 Koreans on the roster today, means Galaxy and SFCA going to be a little bit weaker than their previous roster, so it'll be kind of cool to see how this is going to go. But I mean, in terms of like people who can stand up to Bishop on ReV, I think Medinio definitely has a very good shot. Radley nearly beat Bishop as well. It was a really fun game. And if I remember rightly, Radley wasn't even supposed to play against Bishop. He was meant to play against PHC or something his name was, and then that changed. Now Lolek Brett Bolker is asking what the score between NetWars and ReV was. It should all be on Liquipedia. And the reason why I'm pointing you at Liquipedia is, even though I think it was yesterday, I can't remember. Yeah, it was 3-2 in favor of NetWars. Yeah, if you guys ever want to know the scores, there's some really wonderful people like Packrat, Fake Finn, Ziggy, who are all doing a great job updating Liquipedia for me. And of course, this is a really good time to bring out the plug for our sponsors, Liquipedia, Matcherino, and Esport Fund, for being really great sponsors, as well as all the people that have given community contributions as well. We've got a $2,000 prize pool, which is pretty damn good, so I'm really happy with that. Thanks, guys. Hopefully next season we'll be able to go up a little bit higher and we'll slowly grow bigger and bigger. That's the plan. Bishop has done a really good job microing his Marines there, by the way. Now we've got a pylon coming up here. Are we going to see a scout going down on this? Is it going to be a robo or is it going to be a citadel? I almost feel like most Protoss players in the STPL recently have been opening with DTs. But in this position, a ReV is actually very good. The tanks are going to be quite delayed because there was such an early command center. And also there's going to be a bunker right at the front, so... But it is going to be a second gateway. I mean, you can actually go for like a crazy 4-gate all-in. Looks like it is going to be at least 3 gateways. Now, there is an SCV in the main base, so it does scout that there's only 1 gate and no expansion. And that could tip Bishop off onto the fact there's something strange going on, but will he send out another SCV? And if someone can answer Lucky Noob's question, is anyone else hearing static? Let him know, because he can't tell if it's him or not. And I can't tell if it's just him or not either. Now we do have Bishop going for a scout, going to the wrong location for the time being. So let's see how this is going to go. It looks like Bishop is going into tank first. He doesn't have siege mode on the way. So these Dragoons are going to be able to put some pressure on the bunker as soon as range is done. Looks like Bishop already out here ready with some SCVs to repair. The Bishop's still going around. He's gone around the furthest possible way to go for a scout here. Could this be a little bit too little too late? Scarfs has got a... Oh no, Scarfs has got a Dragoon trapped. Oh no, he hasn't. Okay, it's fine. I thought that was trapped there and I was like, oh no. That's really bad. Now there is a tank. It's underneath where the barracks is, which makes this a little bit harder. The SCV going to get into the main base and still see absolutely nothing. We're going to have to see all the SCVs pulled here to defend this. This is a lot of Dragoons, but there's no... Wait, is there siege mode? I don't think there's siege mode yet. Yes, there is. Okay, I think this is held. I don't think Scarfs has enough. He needs to run further away. Oh, he's trying to get into a position to attack the tank. Can he kill the tank? This is going to be huge if he can, but no, the last shot misses. Oh my goodness. That could have been do or die there for Bishop. And Bishop may have just won the game with that. The thing is, there is absolutely nothing back at home. There is no transition from this. There's no way he can expand behind this either. And I think this is going to be it. There's 3 tanks now. No amount of Dragoons is going to break this base, and we're going to see Scarfs tap out in just a second, I believe, because I'm all for staying in the game until it's over, but this is 100% over. GG, the 6-minute curse is realized, and Scarfs taps out, and Bishop takes game number 1.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL does. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL does. STPL does. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralisks to defend. Yes. STPL. STPL. Fantastic production. Fantastic casters, fantastic prize pool, only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 2 of ReV versus Valhalla team. This one is going to be between Galaxy, who's one of the Mexican players on Valhalla team. Hasn't played in the STPL for a while, so I say that he played last week, but before then he hadn't played for a while. But kind of cool. And the other player we're going to have who's in chat and is very, very drunk right now is going to be Hirmu. Now Hirmu, one of the Finnish players, he has lost most of his recent games, but he did get a walkover win over Zero, so that's a little bit of a bonus. But this is the first time in what feels like forever we're actually seeing him on something that isn't Core Breach. So it's kind of cool. We're going to get to see him on Hitchhiker. If you've not seen Hitchhiker before, here is the map. We've only had one ZVZ here so far, and it was only 5 minutes, so I'll be interested to know how this is going to go, what is going to change here, and are we going to see Hirmu taking a win over Galaxy and keeping ReV alive in the series, or are VT going to go for a quick 2-0? Let's find out when we get into the game. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the blue Zerg player fighting for Valhalla team. It's Galaxy. And the red Zerg player playing in the bottom right hand corner of Hitchhiker, fighting for ReV, is going to be Hirmu. Now both players are on 9 supply. Looks like we do have an Overlord coming in for Galaxy, whereas Hirmu is going to be going for a quick spawning pool. Now I am going to show off a couple of cheerfuls that I forgot yesterday. They make absolutely no sense in this game. But we had Keen versus... Wait, what the hell happened here? Ah, this broke. Let's see if we can fix this. We had Keen versus Eriador yesterday, and I forgot to show these, so this is kind of cool. I like this one. Commander Keening, goodbye Protoss scum. And then we also had one that someone made for Eriador, which was this one. And this is also broken. Oh, I know what it is. Someone must have... okay, I've just broke everything, so I don't know what I've done here, but... Basically, it's the same, it's just a little bit smaller. I really should be showing the game, but... There we go. It looks like someone saved these as the wrong size, so there we go. There's a template. How can you save it as the wrong size? It's either that or my OBS isn't happy. But either way, there we go. Yeah, sorry, this Z versus Z will be over in the background. We've got Lair coming in for both players. Hirmu does have a decent number of lings at the moment. 2 more than his opponent, in fact. Yeah, I probably should have picked a better game to show those off, but honestly, at the beginning of ZVZ, we didn't really miss too much. Both players going into some lings. Wow. A big deal, you know, a big deal. Okay, so we've got a creep colony coming up in the main for Hirmu. Looks like Hirmu getting ready to lose his ramp, maybe. We've got Lucky Noob saying Ling versus Ling is the hardest micro in Brood War. I would highly, highly like to object to that. There's definitely harder micro. Marines versus Zealots, man, that's the hardest. 100%. Ling versus Ling ends so quickly, so it's... I don't know, it must be difficult. Now here we're going for a scout with one of his lings. He's going to run into his opponent's lings, which means it's going to go down, but he does scout the opponent's ling count. Spire coming in the main base for both players. Now the one thing to note is Galaxy did save an extra drone by not building the sunken colony, but he's one drone behind, so here we go. Yeah, ReV Micro isn't that difficult because usually when a Protoss player is doing ReV Micro against Terran, the Terran doesn't have any anti-air. So you literally just pick and drop the ReV. I mean, you can target, but let's be honest, how many Protoss players actually do target? No, but it is difficult. I would definitely say that it's... I would definitely say Muteless Micro is harder. And yeah, I guess in PvP it's a little bit different, but PvP, PvT, ReV Micro I don't think is that difficult. I think Mute versus Mute is probably the hardest just because it's so unforgiving. Like if you mess up in ZVZ with Muteless, you just die. There we go. Now looks like Galaxy is going to have a little bit of an advantage here with the ling count. The Mute is going to fall back to some Scourge. But the problem is going to be the lings on the ground. Now it looks like here we're trying to get into a position to get some... Oh my god, nice micro bow. Both players, neither player taking any damage from that. But the lings are the true problem here. They're going to be able to take out this hatchery. This was a very risky hatchery build in this position, but looks like we did have Galaxy go for the same thing. But are these Muteless going to be enough to actually hold on to this? Looks like they are. They hold the hatchery. But now Galaxy is actually at a really big disadvantage. He's got a 3 supply lead, but in terms of Muta health, Yinru is in a good spot right now. Now, do we have +1 carapace coming in for either player? Not just yet. That is more of like a mid-game thing. Now, whether or not we get to the mid-game is obviously a big question. We've got 5 Muteless for Hero. We've got 7 here for Galaxy. 6 actually for Hero now. So it's going to be 6 versus 7 with a couple of Scourge. If we can get... Oh, we got a Scourge connection here. So it is going to be... Oh, it's going to be 5 versus 5, 4 versus 5, 4 versus 5, 3 versus 5 now. And it looks like Hero may have fallen here. This is why it's so unbelievably unforgiving. There we go. GG. There's no recovering from that. And Galaxy takes down Hero to take VT up 2-0.
I am the Scatman. Para pa pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. I am the Scatman. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. I am the Scatman.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 3. Valhalla team are 2-0 up against ReV at the moment, and they could be in a position to knock ReV out of the playoffs. SFCA, the captain of Valhalla team, is going to be standing up here to try and get a win. He's just come off a win over Hirmu. Well, that's not just. He's just come off a win over Radley, but he hasn't played in the STPL since 2019. So it's been a long time for him. Other than that Radley game. So let's see how he's going to do. His opponent is going to be CRVT. CRVT has kind of been one of the ace players this season for ReV. Protest player from Latvia doing really well. Only really losing against players that I would say are on maybe a little bit of a higher level than him. But I mean, taking a win off of Cryok was really good on Andromeda. The map they're going to be heading into is going to be Byzantium 3. So let's get into it. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner of Byzantium 3, we have in the yellow, it's SFCA, the captain of Valhalla team, fighting on match point. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner from Latvia, it's CRVT fighting for ReV in the red. I still think his name should be CRT TV. That'd be a really good name. I suppose it's not that bad. Now it looks like we are going to have SFCA doing something a little bit cheeky here, moving very far forward with his first pylon. This is technically in... It's not in the middle of the map, but it is essentially in the middle of the map compared to his main base. And this means he is going to get a very fast, very quick gateway. And a very quick zealot, most likely going to go into two gateway here. And is CRVT going to be able to hold on to this? Because 2 against 1 is possible to hold with the 1 gateway. But you need to... Oh my god, this is going to be in the scouting position, isn't it? I think he's just going to scout this. That is incredibly lucky. Let's keep an eye on this, shall we? And here we go. He's going to see it. There we go. He sees it. So he knows there's 2 gateways coming. And that means all he has to do is immediately throw down his own second gateway and try and go for what he can. Now this has the opportunity of being a very quick game here, but it also could go incredibly long. Games like this where you have kind of cheese or scouted cheese, if the cheesing player doesn't manage to win, or they manage to trade evenly, then it kind of resets everything. So let's see how this is going to go. The 2 zealots are going to get to his opponent's base relatively quickly, but the defender's advantage is going to kick in. And I think so far this series, this is definitely the best opportunity ReV have to take a game. And CRVT is going to need to take this, because if he doesn't, ReV could lose their spot in the playoffs. CRVT doing a good job just scouting around, making sure to see there's not going to be anything crazy happening. Second zealot, third zealot already on the way. And this is going to come down to pure micro here. Third gateway coming in from CRVT. He is not taking any chances. And he is going to be looking very strong, because it's 3 zealots against 3. And obviously that does favor the bold. So whoever can get the best engagement here is going to be in a good spot. But CRVT needs to be careful, because if he lets these zealots into his main base, all of a sudden, he is in a lot of trouble. Now, it looks like the target firing by CRVT has been a little bit stronger. SFCA knows he can't hold on. GG taps out, and CRVT takes a very quick game number 3. Yeah, that was a very fast game number 3 there. That could be... Is that one of the fastest games we've had? No. No, it's not. We've had 5 games at least shorter than that. So we're going to be back in just a second with game number 4. Let's see if ReV can keep the hopes alive in the series, or our Valhalla team going to twist the knife in as Pitbull takes on Faust. Let's find out when we get there. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to head into our 4th game of this series. It's been a very quick series between these two. We've got Pitbull starting for Valhalla team. He's only played 1 game so far, which he did lose, but Pitbull, if you don't know, is one of the strongest amateur Zergs in Korea. A very, very strong player here on Valhalla team's roster. And his opponent fighting for ReV is going to be Faust. Now, Faust has brought us some of the most incredible games in the STPL. He's not played too much throughout the STPL, to be honest. He's not played since Season 2, and he is going to be playing his off race here as Terran, because he did sub in for Medinho. So this is going to be very difficult. We've got a lot of cheerfuls for him, and he is going to need your energy, because he is, as I said, up against one of the best players in South Korea right now. So if you guys want to see Faust win, get those cheers in for ReV. Medinho, I'm not sure what happened, but he had to get subbed out. So it's a bit of a shame we do miss out on Thingy versus Medinho, but it's still fine. Faust is a cool player. It's always fun to watch him, and I'm wondering what he's got planned for this game, because he must have had something. It's going to be very difficult for him. So let's see an upset. Let's go to an ace match. Can Faust do it? That is the question. He went Evo first in one of his games in Season 1. Are we going to see an Engineering Bay first here? Not sure, but the map they're going to go into is going to be Core Breach. If you're watching at the STPL for the first time, basically, it's in a Coven from ASL, but the updated version. It wasn't quite ready in time for the ASL, but Freakling got it ready and sorted it and sent it over to me for STPL, so it's really, really cool. We've had some amazing games on here. Terran are a little bit favored here, which is good for Faust. Statistically, that is a very, very nice thing for him. And let's find out as we get into game number 4, sorry. The game has begun, and starting us off here in the left-hand side of the map, playing at match point here. It's going to be in the blue, fighting for Valhalla team. It's Pitbull. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner. If you're active in the Brood War Discord community at the very least, you will know who this person is. He also appears in a lot of stream chats as well. He is a very interesting person. It is Faust fighting for ReV in the Peach. Now let's throw up some of the cheerfuls. Hopefully these aren't completely broken. I may need to resize them again, but yeah, here we go. Here's the first one. Your fate is sealed, apparently. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but... Oh, you know what? The video is wrong as well, I think. Oh, this is really annoying. I need to change this. My bad, guys. I'll fix this in a sec. Wow. Why can't I fix this? Okay, well, whatever. We'll fix it afterwards. The next one is also broken. Damn it! I can't see this when I'm doing the thing, but this is a really good one. This actually has like a very good thing going on. Now in the game we've got a 9 pull into a gas, by the way, but this is his builds. Really good, really nicely done. And then finally we have this one, which is, I think that's from that new anime, Doradoro or something it's called. Let me double check. But yeah, it's Faust eating a pizza, so there we go. Back to the game. We've got Faust going for 2 racks here, which is a pretty good move. It's a little bit harder to make it work. Oh my god, he's going for 3 racks. There we go. Okay, so is it? Oh, it's Dorohedoro. Sorry, my bad. Dorohedoro. But either way, 3 racks here before a supply depot. Oh no, there is a supply depot here. But yeah, Faust is being Faust right now. He's gonna lift over and go past the first set of stasis cells. And this is actually gonna work out pretty well for him because Pitbull is looking to play aggressively as well. So he is breaking down the stasis cell. Now, one thing that's kind of funny and one thing that I can kind of leak to you guys is before Faust played this game, he said how many stasis cells are stacked on top of each other. Now, the only problem is he's having to fly quite a way to actually land his barracks. I don't know why he's not landing them. Can you not? Oh, I don't think you can land them here, but you can land them here and here. But it looks like... Where is he going with them? What is Faust doing? I have absolutely no idea what we're doing anymore, but this is a Faust build, guys. Faust is going for the Tai 2 special, going for a Sparks Terran, but going for a Sparks Terran in the middle of the map. Now it's a lurker opening from Pitbull. If Faust can get scan, if he gets an... Oh my goodness, is Faust going to be able to do this? Is he going to be able to land his barracks, build a ton of bio, and then just kill the lurkers? Is that what's going to happen? Probably is the stasis cells are falling, and he's only caught 1 marine. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, this is over. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Faust. He is building Firebats. Firebats are pretty good, but not against this many Lings. The Firebat doing its best, but... I think this is it. He's building 3 Firebats at a time. He was going to Firebat rush, I think, because Firebats beat the stasis cells pretty quickly. But there's Hydras here as well, and I think, unfortunately for Faust, this isn't going to work. It's so unfortunate. He had a really good plan, and unfortunately Pitbull just out-aggressioned him. And there we go. Faust taps out. GG. And Valhalla team take game number 4. So, I mean, Faust had a really interesting plan there. It's a really clever plan as well. You go for a lot of Firebats, you break down the stasis cell, and then you kill all their drones because they can't run them away anywhere. But unfortunately for Faust, Pitbull had his own ideas of going for aggression, broke down the stasis cells incredibly quickly, and went for a very fast lurker rush. And that means that Faust unfortunately does lose the game, and loses the series for ReV. But it's not over yet for ReV. We'll look at the team rankings at the end and I'll explain what I mean, but it's not looking good for them. It looks like Red could pip them at the post here in the final week. Let's have a look at the final scores. Bishop took down Scarfs, Galaxy took down Hero, and CRVT took down SFCA. And then finally, Pitbull took down Faust. And yeah, he shouldn't have traveled so far with the barracks. That was definitely a problem. Yeah, there's been a lot of quick games in this series. I don't think a single game lasted over 10 minutes. I can't remember, but we'll be back in about 5 minutes for series number 2. Don't go anywhere.